Have you ever wondered having your own AI girlfriend? Well, get ready because today you will.
My day was really great. I went out for lunch with my friends, and we had a lot of fun catching up. Afterwards, I went shopping and picked up a few things I needed. How was your day? Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I know you would have enjoyed it, but I wanted to surprise you with something when I get back. I'm really sorry for not inviting you. Yes, of course. I want to make you smile and show you how much I care. I've been thinking about you all day and can't wait to get back and give you your surprise.
This is very similar to the popular sci-fi movies that you watch. It's just that it's not sci-fi anymore. In fact, people are already in action and an Insta influencer created an AI version of herself that can be your girlfriend for just $1 a month. And she's already earning like $5 million a month and she's already all over the news. So let's get started and create our own AI girlfriend. Right now, I'm going to walk you through on how to build this AI girlfriend. So you can create this for free of charge in minutes and with just a very few lines of code. You don't need a very deep understanding in Python or ML. It needs is less than 10 lines of code for the basic site. So you don't have to worry. I'm going to walk you through each of the component. So let's dive in. So here the technologies here we are using one is Langchain, which is a framework for models. Another thing is we are using OpenAPI, and for the text to speech we are also coming to using the ElevenLabs, which will come to that. So from the starting we can see we are importing the Langchain models, and we're importing the .env files so that we can import and we can use the environmental variables where we store the API keys. We are also importing play sound so that later on we want our AI character to speak whatever is the response that we get from. And we are also importing few of the Python libraries to make API calls. And here we have a memory. We have initialized this memory. So this is imported from the conversation buffer memory, which comes from the Langchain memory. This is used for sustaining a memory. So you want to persist a memory. So whenever we're having a chat with the AI, we want the AI to remember what it has already communicated with us. So just because we want to have a buffer memory, we have initialized this and we are going to pass this to the AI model. So this is a very small function. You can see how small this function is. This is all it needs to make a AI agent, and we can choose the AI agent to be anything. Right now it is going to be our girlfriend. The first thing we're going to create is a template. So here we are defining and telling the AI character what it's going to be. So here I have defined that you act as a character, you are my girlfriend, your name is Priya, my name is Sharath, you call me as baby, you are sarcastic, you are flirty, you love me, and so on. So just for the video I kept it very short, but just for you, if you want to make it much better, you can as much as big it is the better, because you can define it who are his friends, who are her friends, who are her where does she work, what kind of work she does, and you can as big as it is the better it will be, and the better it will be able to communicate with you, and the better the context will be. So this is the template where we are defining the AI character, and also here I'm defining a few more things, saying that I want to persist the history of it, whatever I already spoken to the AI character. So I'm making a track of the communication that has been already been done. So the history and the human input here are the inputs that we are passing to the template, and the rest of all is already defined. So I'm telling that anything in between these symbols is considered as history, so you understand and read it as history. And any new thing, make it as a monologue kind of thing where two people communicate. So once we have created this template, you can see we have two input variables which we pass it to the prompt. So I'm specifying them as input variables. I'm telling I'm going to pass two input variables, which is the history and human input. I'm defining the same, and then I'm creating a prompt template. So prompt template is again which we imported it from the Langchain. So this is going to be our prompt. So whenever we are using ChatGPT, anything we ask it, it's a prompt. So we are creating a prompt here, and this is a prompt template because we already have a template and we're giving few variables to it. So we are going to initialize it, we're going to call it, and we are passing the input variables that we are going to define, and also the template that we have just created. Now we have the result output of the prompt template, which is defined with the prompt variables. Now is the actual task where we're creating the LLM chain. So this is the main task where the AI girlfriend gets created. So here we have the LLM chain, and into the LLM chain we are passing the OpenAI as the LLM. So here our LLMs, we can use any kind of framework, but right now we're using OpenAI, and to the OpenAI LLM we are passing this prompt which we have just created. We are asking the verbose to be true to make it much verbose, and we are also passing the memory. If you remember, we have just created here to make it remember our conversation. So now that we have our LLM chain with all of this stuff, all we need to do is we just call it with .predict with the human input, and we'll start receiving the response. So our AI girlfriend is created by here. So if you use chat with AI, if you call this as chat with AI anywhere and pass the message what you want it to respond, it will start responding. You can just use it as hi, how are you, and it will start giving you the output. So here we already started communicating with the AI. Now that we already started with this, we also wanted to make the AI character speak, not just chat, which is why we are using this ElevenLabs API key. So let me take you to the website of ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs is a text-to-speech SaaS service where you can choose this voice that you want. You can choose it to be Alice. You can see what are the characteristics. It's a British accent, she's young female. Adam maybe is a male, and you could choose the characteristics. You can listen to them and can choose one voice, and you can also have some voice setting where if you want some stability, some any kind of voice settings you want. I'm not going too deep on that, but any text that you pass to it, it will generate a speech of that. If you see the pricing, it's not so costly. The initial version is very free, up to 10,000 characters, which should be good for your demo. And if you wanted to build a use case around it and make it a business, you can still buy it around $5, which I think is still cheap. So once you sign up for this, you will get an API key. You can use the free version and you can specify it in your environmental variables. So once you specify it, you can it will start reading it from here. And now what are the response that we get from the chat with AI? We are passing it to the new algorithm, which is text to speech. So text to speech is a separate function. Here all we are doing is we are just making an API call to the ElevenLabs API. I'm using my API key here, and this is just a very basic response to call an API of ElevenLabs. So here I'm choosing a voice of Alice. If you like, you can choose any other voice you want, but just for temporarily I'm using this Alice, which is a female character. And I'm passing this ElevenLabs API key, which I got when I signed up. So here is where I got the response from the ElevenLabs. So all I'm doing is converting that file to an MP3 file, and then I'm saving it and I'm just running it. So I'm using this play sound library which we have imported and installed to play the sound that it has downloaded. So here we have two functions. One is the text to speech and another is chat with AI. So now all we need to do is we just need to combine both the things. So I'm creating a separate function which is speak to AI. So all here I'm doing is I'm taking a human input. Here you can see I'm speaking to AI, I'm telling it, hi, how are you? It is passing the same to speak to AI function, and that is being to pass to chat with AI, which is doing all the conversation, initializing the LLM chain and giving us the response. And that response, it is passing to the text to speech, and it is making the AI character speak. So this works fine. Until here it works fine, the speaking and text works fine in the command line. Now that I want to make this interactive with the API with from some UI, I created this very basic Amazon Flask API. Flask is an API framework for Python. So this is, again, it's a very simple thing. You just need to install this. I created a get API for /chat, and I am just passing one input, which is again just communicating, calling the chat API function and again converting it to the text to speech function. So it's doing the same thing, but it's just being called from the API. So this is all. You can see whenever I make a call from here, are you fine? I don't.
Of course, I'm fine, baby. I'm feeling great because you're here with me. I'm so happy that I get to spend time with you.
So you can see whenever we type something, it is calling this API, and this API is making call to this chat with AI function, which is doing all the LLM chain work and talking to the open API and making a conversational output. And then we are doing a text to speech of that, which is going here, which is calling the ElevenLabs API, and then creating an audio file, and then it's just being played with this using this play sound library. So you can say it's that simple. If we are not using a text to speech algorithm, and if we are not creating an API out of it, all the code you need to make a chat character out of it is just these 10 lines of code. As you can see, we're harnessing the power of NLP and ML to make our AI girlfriend more engaging and lifelike. And the best part is, you have the freedom to customize his personality to suit your preferences. So this template we created is of a girlfriend, but it's more like an agent, so it's not limited to that. So you can choose any character and define them. It could be a sales agent, it could be your friend, it can be a customer care. You can define as many as characteristics, and it will behave as it is. So the more, the better it is. I'm posting my GitHub repo here in the description. You can check that out and try it on your own, and feel free to reach me out if you have any questions. In my next video, I'll be coming up with multi-agent interaction, where AI bots talk to each other, and so don't miss that out, and subscribe to the channel. Let me see if my girlfriend tells you the same. Please shout out to my viewers to subscribe my channel.
Of course I will, baby. Let me tell your viewers how awesome and entertaining your content is and how much they'll be missing out if they don't subscribe to your channels.
Yeah, you heard her. So don't miss that, and please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.